Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Loudon, New Hampshire, for tonight's TRS, the RacingSchool.net Modified Series. From the Magic Mile, 60 laps of racing action here in store for you guys tonight. Race number 2 in the TRS Modified Series. Familiar place for the mods. New England Tour Modifieds are all the rage, as they say. Home of the old Musket 200. Hopefully we bring that back here in the near future. But for now, it's 60 laps. Just means it's go time a lot earlier. Going to be fun to watch. Let's go down trackside here. Just a few minutes left in the practice session. Looking at Bill Voracek, that number 9 machine. Voracek 13th fastest on the board so far this afternoon. Just a few minutes left in the practice session. Dustin Painter, your top time. Oh, Bill Voracek in the wall, rides the wall. Thank goodness for fast repairs. Dustin Painter, the familiar number 65. Mike Taschereau in the 33, second fastest. Just about an identical time with Painter, a 30.14 and change. Can't really break it down any further than the 100th place, but in the live timing it says 30.15 for both drivers. Painter a sub 1.5, but rounding up, that's how we get the 1.5. Cody Harger, new to the series, a late add. Cody in the number 66 Plasmine Technologies machine. Cody comes to us from the SCAR Superior Class Auto Racing League. It's actually an admin over there, but a little bit of his golf game on this side of the catch fence. Carson Conway also runs over on that side. We're sporting a Holler Boys Racing TV livery this event. Planned to run the full season, missed last week due to work, but here he is in race 2. Carson 10th quick on the board this afternoon, only about a 10th off the top speed. Brian Torcha in the number 2 Red Baron Pizza. Is that Red Baron Pizza or just the Red Baron? I can't tell. Maybe it's because I'm hungry. Still a good looking car. Ryan 19th fast on the charts so far. Just a minute left in the session. Good field here tonight. 21 mods, it looks like. Joe Marks in the number 4. Cody Fogg, another familiar name in that number 58 Caterpillar machine. Another good-looking modified. A little wiggle from the 58. Keeps it off the wall. Practice coming to an end here in just a couple of seconds. Going to jump right into qualifying. So who will hit the track first? That is the real question. Looks like maybe Rob Higgins in the 40. He's first to grid on the pit lane. He's going to roll out, make his attempt. Doesn't pull the Matt Hirschman, dragging the front tires to get some tire pressure in there. So we'll see what kind of lap time Higgins can produce. Higgins rounding turn 4 here, headed down the front stretch to complete his first timed lap. First lap for Higgins, a 30.49. Carson Conway put it on the top spot for a moment, now back to third after Harger and Painter. Harger's first lap, a 30.405. Let's see if Carson can pick up the pace here on his second lap, coming to the line this time by. Second lap for Carson Conway, a little improvement, a 30.333 keeps Carson in the third spot. Still half the field needing to check in with a time. Bill Voracek's lap 2, 30.666. Mike Taschereau just finishing up lap 1, 30.312 for the 33 machine. Lap 2 for Mike, it's a 30.24. Move Taschereau to the third spot. Shane Wagner out on the track, a 30.53 for Wagner on his first lap. That puts him 10th quick on the charts. Other guys going out to hit the track, Cody Fogg, Joe Marks, Dan Butler. Finish up this lap and start jumping around a little bit. Lap 2 for Wagner, a 30.31. Looks like everybody's picking up a bit on that second lap. Wagner going from 10th to 5th. Cody Fogg trying to get some heat in those Hoosiers. Almost seems like the 58's just using that first lap as a throwaway, really just to put heat in the rubber. Lap 2 seems to be quickest for everyone thus far. Let's see if Cody Fogg can get a decent lap on his second one. We'll see where he checks in on lap 1. Lap 1 for Cody Fogg, a 30.42. Not a bad first lap. Ryan Torcha rolling out late in the session. And the later you go, many times track temperature does tend to fall depending on when you set the session up at. It can also bite you though. Doesn't always mean it's going to drop. If it goes up, it's going to be a slower lap usually. Brian takes the green on lap 1 of his qualifying attempt. So far, top time, Cody Harger, a 30.17. Brian Torcha nice and smooth off turn number 4. Lap 1 for Brian, 16th quick, 30.867. Austin Purnell rolling out the number 32 race 22 slime colored machine. That's pretty cool looking paint. Buddy of mine, Cody, is a big modified guy, and he always makes the point that if it ever comes down to a photo finish at the line between two tour modifieds, it's always the car with the neon colored Nerf bar in the front that gets the win. It just naturally grabs the eye, and if it's too close to call, bright colors tend to win. Strategy even in paint. Purnell using that ultra low line through 1 and 2, that apron line. Haven't seen anybody really try and pull that off just yet. Kind of got to work it in. Maybe during the race we'll see that come in, but for qualifying, I'm not so sure. Maybe you know something we don't. First lap for Purnell, a 30.640, 17th on the board. Alfie Charon Jr., the 78. Charon Racing, TRS, the racingschool.net on that machine. First lap for Charon, 7th quick, 30.371. Decent first lap for the 78. Let's stay on board and watch, see if lap 2 is any improvement. It's only 0.2 off pole speed. Plug check. 30.292 brings it up to 4th spot, top 5 starting position for Alfie Charon. Good couple of laps for him, and that's going to wrap it up. There's 3 other drivers that haven't taken a time thus far. Tom Melnick, Bob Higgins, and Keith Delez, or again, all these new people. Correct me in my mispronunciation of the names. That's going to do it for qualifying now. Still 2 3/4 minutes left in the session officially. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with our starting grid. Welcome back, everyone, to Loudon, New Hampshire. New Hampshire Motor Speedway for tonight's TRS Modified Series event. Let's take a look at our starting grid from qualifying. On the pole, his first race here in the series, Cody Harder with Charger Racing, the number 66 machine. To his outside, the 65 of Dustin Painter. Dustin Painter from Carolinas. Mike Taschereau, the 3rd spot out of New England. 4th is Alfie Charon. Starting 5th is Josh Buckley in the number 13. Shane Wagner out of Michigan in the number 26. Carson Conway with Holler Boys Racing in the 72. He starts 7th. Joe Marks in the 4. He'll start from the 4th position. Dan Butler with the RacingSchool.net will roll off 9th. 10th starting position, Dale Legan in the 05. James Kerr the 3rd in the 11th spot. Cody Fogg, he will start from the 12th position. 13th is Rob Higgins with Higgins Hill Racing. Matthew Whedon will come out of the grid in the 14th position. 15th and the number 2 with OG Racing, Brian Torcha. Austin Purnell will start 16th. 17th, Pete Woodrum. 18th, the 9 of Bill Voracek. Thomas Melnick will roll off in the 19th spot with TRS Motorsports. Bob Higgins will start 20th. Enlisted as 21st on the field, the 17 of Keith Dellis. Not sure if he's going to be starting. We will see. He did not take a lap of qualifying and has yet to grid. Time will tell. iRacing pace car leaving the start-finish line for our formation lap. 1 mile oval here in New Hampshire. Probably only going to do 1 lap. Good field of modifieds here this afternoon in New Hampshire. Looks like we will have a field of 18 actually making the start. We have 3 other machines in the field that did not take the grid. I assume they're here either in an admin role or just watching. Lights are off atop the pace car. We will be going green this time. Pace car's down the pit lane, waiting on the flagger. Green flag in the air. Cody Harger, Dustin Painter in the gas. Painter does beat the 66 to the start. Down low goes Cody Harger, the number 66 Plasmine Technologies machine. Again, first race in the series for Cody Harger. Dustin Painter does clear the 66 off turn 2, move Dustin Painter starting second on the grid to the first spot in the race. Alfie Charon up to 3rd, already gaining a spot. And we do have a caution. Looks like Dan Butler might be involved. Let's see if we can take a look at it here. We'll go full speed until things get hairy. Dan Butler in the 18, a white machine, middle lane, sliding into possibly the 58. Down the back stretch. Man, this replay goes back far. Just gets turned on entry to 3. Doesn't collect anybody else. Will likely be able to continue without issue. Early on, though, Dan Butler at a deficit back in the 18th position and last on the field. Standard yellow here at New Hampshire this time. Pace car lights still on. Expect them to go off the next time by start-finish line. That will be lap 5, which means we should get the green here on lap 6. So far, it's Jamie Kerr, the only one to interact here in the stream chat. Feel free to say hello, guys. If you're in here watching on YouTube or Facebook, shoot me a message, say hello, ask a question, tell me a joke. Don't care. Keep it clean. PG-13 is fine. All right, lights are off atop the iRacing pace car. We are single file restart for this restart here. Lap 5 coming to lap 6. Little bump from the 78 into Cody Harger. Alfie Sharon getting a little excited back there in 3rd spot. Green flag back out. Dustin Painter off and away. Cody Harger car length behind. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. Dustin Painter still leads. Cody Harger 2nd. Alfie Sharon is 3rd. Mike Taschereau 4th. Shane Wagner, your top 5. Cody Harger right there on the back Nerf bar of the 65 of Painter. Cody with a little look to the inside off turn number 2, but he's got company. Alfie Sharon right on the 66 into turn 3 and 4. Now Cody taking a look to the inside off turn number 4, has the position, not quite. He's going to possibly give it up to the 78. Turns 1 and 2, side-by-side action off the corner again. Cody Harger looking to the inside for the lead. Lap 8 of 60 here at New Hampshire. Cody Harger bump indoor Nerf bars into turn number 3. Both drivers get away clean. Move Painter back to the 2nd spot. Alfie Sharon's going to try and follow the 66. Taking a look to the inside, gets into the 66, almost spins out Cody Harger. Talk about a bump and run. Move the 78 to the lead. Cody Harger back to at least 5th. Looks like Alfie's actually going to slide around and let everybody go. I don't know if he's got damage from that incident or if he just knew that he blew that one. I'm not really sure what happened. Move Dustin Painter back to the lead. See, Alfie Sharon has slid back considerably there. I'm not sure what the issue is. Don't appear to be any damage to the 78. TRS number 78. Maybe acknowledging that contact. I'm not really sure, but he's dropped back to the rear of the field, at least mid-pack, to the 11th position. Back up front once again, Dustin Painter still in the lead. Mike Taschereau is 2nd, and Cody Harger in the wall off turn number 4. Caution is out. Not sure if he just got too high in the line and rode it up the safer barrier. Let's take a look at the replay, see what happened with the 66. So we'll go full speed here because it seems to be a little lengthy. This is actually off turn number 2 down the backstretch. This is where the system is starting our replays. It's awful late, or I'm sorry, early. But here he is, Cody Harger, the high lane, the 66 gold and black machine. Slow it down because he's coming off turn 4 here. Okay, a little contact from the 26, bumps into the 66 of Harger, slides him up the track, rides the wall, catches the right front, and almost goes up on his lid. They do have a fast repair that they can use here. If Cody was able to get it back to the pit lane without losing a lap, still not out of the event. Cody was looking very strong early on as far as speed was concerned, but just got shuffled back after contact with Alfie Charon. Smoke pouring from the 66. Not sure if he's going to make it back. Still on the lead lap, though. Cody makes it down the pit lane. We'll see if he makes it all the way to the box. Don't want to see that engine expire before he makes it in. Cody out of Calhoun, Louisiana. Gonna change tires while he's at it. Dustin Painter, pit service complete. He's back out on the track as the leader. Mike Taschereau is second. Josh Buckley third. Matthew Whedon and Rob Higgins, your top 5. 13 laps into this 60-lap event. They had 3 sets of tires over the wall. 14 laps in, they've already burned 1. 2 left to use up if needed. They're also running on a 50% load of fuel, so I know it was going to be relatively tight. I believe it was about a 40-lap run on a full tank. If you timed it right, you could certainly do it on one stop. Where they are right now, though, lap 13 for fuel all the way to the end. That's going to be tough. I got to kind of bank on getting yellow flags to come between now and then, which we're probably going to see. These guys are aggressive here in the league. We're going to see some yellows. Joining me in the booth is Brian Rose. Brian Rose, also of Howler Boys Racing. Not sitting in the seat tonight, but he's joining me in the booth. Welcome, Brian.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I like watching these tour mods come out here and run. They're real fun to watch and look forward. They're putting on a show right now, that's for sure.
Certainly some aggression early on from these drivers. We saw Alfie Charon get into the 66 of Cody Harger, sent Cody back a little bit. Great save by the 66. But unfortunately, it put him back in the pack, and he got collected with another driver, which ultimately sent the 66 into the wall. Cody's running 16th, though. Lead lap car still got that fast repair and set of 4 tires. Pace car's down and away. Field coming to green. Dustin Painter brings him down. Mike Taschereau second. Dustin gets a good restart. Taschereau in the 33 tucks in behind. Meanwhile, Josh Buckley in that number 13 is in the 3rd spot. You probably will not see these guys get real strung out. This is like the Daytona of the mod series. I went to the Musket 200 a couple of years ago. Actually, I think it was the end of 2020. And these guys race like it's Daytona. Like there's legitimately a draft. You can certainly pick it up down the straightaways. It's crazy to see the runs that they can get. So likely not to see the field get super spread out, at least if they can maintain that draft and work it to their advantage. We do have trouble off turn 2. Didn't catch who it was. We stay under green.
That's Austin Purnell getting caught up in that with the back. They were 4 wide coming out of 2 there.
Austin Purnell, that black and neon green number 32 that we pointed out early on.
Cody Harger making a big move down the back stretch right now, taking it 3 wide.
Dives it into turn 3. Cody Harger on the charge.
He's definitely going to be aggressive trying to get back up front. I know he was really excited for this race, and see him get caught up in that early incident, I know that with the luck he's had this year, he's going to be trying to get back to the front as soon as possible.
Cody likes these modifieds, but he doesn't run them all that much just because the field of view in the driver's seat wasn't so great. Then iRacing comes out with this update. You can either choose plexiglass or sheet metal on that A-pillar, so he's really excited that he's got a little bit more visibility out of that number 66. He said, you know what, I'm going to run this with Carson's.
Little contact there with Cody.
That's going to bring out a big yellow. Big trouble off turn number 2. Bill Voracek involved.
Did you hear any static? Like somebody was keying up on your radio a few minutes ago?
Happened as we watched it. Let's see if we can get a better look. The 9 and the 18 banged Nerf bars into the corner entry, giving an opportunity for the 66 of Cody Harger to maybe sneak down low. That was, I think, that was a different corner. Yeah, that was coming off turn 4. So down the front stretch, we'll go full speed here on the replay. They dive it into turn number 1. Again, Voracek on the outside. 18 of Dan Butler in front of the 66. Cody Harger in the black and gold machine. Voracek tries to dive down a little low here.
Yeah, it looks like the 9 right there was trying to make a pretty aggressive move, trying to split the 66 of Cody and the number 8 car right there and take it 3 wide, and there just wasn't enough real estate for all those cars right there coming out of 2.
Voracek almost had it saved, but then gets collected by a couple other cars, and then big impact into that outside safer barrier. Big trouble off turn number 2. I like to look at it again from Bill's perspective. Let's go back and go with the onboard here. We ride along with Bill Voracek in the 9. Again, this is going to be full speed through 3 and 4. Already banged Nerf bars with the 18. Working to the outside. He's got Cody Harger. You can see him in the left mirror there. Just slight contact, but it's all it takes.
The rest of that definitely wasn't slight contact, though. Yeah, you go into a corner with these cars right here. I mean, you're entering the corner at 110, 115 miles per hour, and then you bang those Nerf bars together. It's just like skipping rocks on a river. It's going to send you somewhere, and usually somebody else is going to get caught up in it.
I mean, you got those big old Hoosier tires on that thing, but again, at the speeds that they're running through these corners, Brian, like you're saying, you could stick your hand out the window and push them sideways. It really doesn't take a whole lot of contact. It's not like we're running a little, 3/8 mile roundy rounder somewhere. This is a big flat mile oval. They get around here faster than actually the Cup cars do. They're on the limit every corner.
And I mentioned Cody trying to get back up to the front as soon as possible, and looks like he's going to be starting P2 right now. And Carson Conway has worked his way back up, I guess, with some pit strategy here. There he's back up to the front. So we've shuffled the field, and it's going to be interesting watching these faster guys work their way up after this pit stops.
And speaking of that, Josh Buckley, he has yet to pit. Josh in that number 13, he has not taken any tires or fuel at this point. Everybody behind him has had pit service. Cody Harger, Carson Conway, and pretty much everyone else all the way back. It seems that, let's see here, trying to figure out who pit when. Shane Wagner pit just recently. Everybody else, they're on back. Yeah, pit on this caution. So there's 1, 2... Cody Harger and Carson Conway, the only two guys that stayed out that pit on lap 12. But here we have Josh Buckley has yet to pit at all. So, again, Josh certainly banking on some cautions later on to get him to the finish with fuel mileage, because they know they can't do it on less than one stop. He can maybe do it on one.
Definitely going to be interesting to see going forward to this race. We're almost halfway through it, so pit strategy already going to be making a factor here in the later stages of the race. But we're getting ready to go green. Pace car ducks off.
Green flag.
Green in the air. Cody gets a slow start. 26, Shane Wagner pushing him down the straight. Carson Conway looking to the inside of Cody Harger into turns 1 and 2. Nothing doing there. Cody has the advantage off the corner. Right now the battle is for the second and third spots. Josh Buckley 2 to 3 car length advantage over the 66 as we come to lap 27.
As you said, Steve, the 13 of Josh Buckley hadn't pitted yet. It doesn't seem like if anyone has pitted tires, which I don't believe anyone has, but if they have, we're going to see them, those newer tires, be coming through the field in a hurry. But that lighter fuel load that Josh has, it might be paying off, giving him a little bit more speed down the straights.
I think it's more about the fuel load because, again, Josh did not take tires, but it seemed that everybody on that first stop, even at lap 12, took tires. They had 3 sets. We got trouble on turn number 4. Carson Conway. Huge wreck down the front stretch. Carson Conway on his roof.
I think we need to start putting like an age limit on racing or something, you know?
Big wreck. Let's go back and take a look at it. Many cars involved.
Clipped the 26's rear end and kind of got him a little squirrely coming out of 4, and then he bangs doors with the 333 car, sends him into the wall, and well, what carnage ensued after that.
Yeah, big trouble. Luckily for the 72, didn't get hit too many times while he was on his lid, but big trouble for really everyone else down the front straightaway. Dustin Painter, Dale Egan, Carson Conway, Mike Taschereau, Brian Torcha, Alfie Sharon, Bob Higgins, Bill Voracek, all involved. Some good quick names there. They're back in the pack due to that pit stop after that last caution. It's kind of a gamble. If you end up taking a pit stop and some of the field does not, you end up back there with some guys maybe you don't want to be racing with, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Josh Buckley is hitting the pit lane now at halfway, lap 30. Coming to 31 to get his pit service. First stop of the day for the number 13.
I know we're halfway in the race right now by the time we go back green. It'll be interesting to see if he takes his set of tires right here or if he maybe holds on, banking on a late race caution, which is probably a good gamble.
Well, after this, he still has 2 sets over the wall. They started with 3 over the wall, so he's taking the right sides right now. Let's see if he brings it down and takes the lefts as well. I assume he will. Yep, left side's going up on the 13 as well. 4 tires and likely fuel into the 13 machine of Josh Buckley. Josh still waiting in the stall. Not sure if he's waiting on fuel or repairs. I don't see any damage to that machine. Well, either way, this is going to give the lead back to the 66 of Cody Harger. Cody started on the pole position here this afternoon. Ran up front for a few laps and made some contact. I think it was Alfie Charon got into him. Slid the 66 back into the 5th or 6th spot and then was caught up in an incident off turn at number 4. Got the fast repair, got some tires, worked his way back up through the field, got some luck with some cautions, and the 66 back out front.
Some good-looking paint schemes in this field tonight, Steve. Been a long time since I watched a modified race, but I forget just how fun these things are to watch and how not good they are to look at when they're painted up real nice like this.
I'll tell you, Brian, if you've never been to a Tour modified race or a Tour type modified race, you got to make sure you go see them because they are a blast. I don't care how big the track is. Green flag in the air. Cody Harger right in the gas. They are back underway here. Lap 33 of 60. The 26 of Shane Wagner. Big trouble down the front straightaway. Looks like the 58 hard into the wall. Collects Dustin Painter once again. Painter on his lid into turn 1 entry. Carson Conway sneaking his way through.
And it looks like, though, if you back up a little bit right before they cross the start-finish line, the 32, that neon green painted car, the 9, and Carson Conway, they sort of got it mixed up in a little bit before the front part of the field. So, you know, slowed up the back half of the field so it wasn't a bigger mess than what it could have been.
We're going to watch from the 58's perspective as they go green. Yeah, it looked like the Austin Purnell got wiggly as well. We'll go back and look at that too. Oh yeah, the right just got, the 58 got hooked in the right rear. Let's watch it from Austin Purnell. Brian was pointing out some issues back there as well. Look at the black and neon green machine there, mid-pack. Yeah, everybody went and then brake checked, and it was a chain reaction with Carson in the 9.
You know, I'm sure that the number 9 car of Bill and the 22, this black and neon green car, I'm sure that they were super upset with all that going on back in the back. But after seeing what happened in front of them, was probably really glad that what happened, because no harm, no foul back there at the back of the pack for that. But if they would have all been up to speed, they would have all been probably collected, having to pick their way through that big wreck.
And we're going to watch it from Austin Purnell here. 32 slime machine. A little bit closer angle. Yeah, the 32 goes, the 9 goes, and then the 32 slows, then the 9 slows, and Carson gets into the back and Voracek. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Brian. It slowed these guys up enough that they missed a big wreck. It would have taken out half the field, if not more. Cody Harger still out front with 25 to go. You've got Shane Wagner in the 2nd spot. He's up 4 positions from where he started. You got James Kerr running third. He's up 8 positions from where he started. Matthew Whedon up 10. In fifth, Rob Higgins up 8. Certainly not going to be a gimme win for the 66 of Cody Harger. He's certainly going to have to earn this. Shane Wagner looked real fast on the restart, applying the pressure to the back Nerf bar of that number 66 machine.
And I'm not trying to play favorites or anything. Obviously, I race with Cody all the time in the SCAR League. He is a really good driver. He really does put in the work and the effort, and he's a great admin of the league. He also runs the IROC series that I also race in. He got one stole from him last Thursday back at Las Vegas, and right on the last lap, coming out of 4 in the tri-oval, he got passed for the win. And with the bad luck he's had this year in SCAR, you know, a little bit of he's pulling for him tonight. I sort of like to see him come out of here with a clean race and a really good finish.
That's kind of why Cody wanted to run this series. It kind of gets him out of his normal element. Maybe help with some, get rid of some bad juju on the 66 and turn his luck around. So far, so good. 24 to go here at New Hampshire, though. Again, it's not all said and done. He's going to have to earn it here in New Hampshire.
We're approaching 20 to go right here, and if you got tires left on pit road, I know that cautions breed cautions, and so far that's rang true. But just how long do you wait to put on your last set of tires that you got? I mean, that's it's starting to become a real gamble now. You're about to go all in if you don't come down on the next couple cautions.
Pace car hits the pit lane, waiting on Cody to go. The 26 gets into the back bumper. The 66 kind of gives him a jump start. Works out really well for Cody Harger. Cody with a 2-car length advantage through turns 1 and 2. Shane Wagner slips a little off exit of turn 2, gives the advantage to the inside to James Kerr. James Kerr now racing Wagner into turn 3, wants that second spot. '75 of Kerr, 26 of Wagner. Wagner gets the advantage with the momentum down the straightaway into 1. They're still side by side through 1 and 2. James Kerr, though, gets the position, clears the 26 off exit down the back stretch into 3. Wagner taking a peek, but nothing doing for the 26 machine of Shane Wagner. Move him back to 3rd spot. Cody Harger's got to be loving this. The 2nd and 3rd place cars doing battle while Cody just turns laps. 21 to go here at New Hampshire. Right on board with the number 26 as he tries to battle back around James Kerr. '26 rubs the wall on the entry to 1, gets away with it, keeps the 3rd spot. Off turn number 2, though, James Kerr has caught our leader, Cody Harger, right on that back Nerf bar, looking inside turn 3, side by side, the 75 and the 66. Good move by James Kerr, the 3rd. Little wiggle, though, can't hold the line. The 26 gets to his outside. Shane Wagner takes back the 2nd position.
Oh, we got a car in a wall in the backstretch back here. Looks like an 05.
05 at Dale Legan in the wall, no yellow.
Just jumped out.
Shane Wagner riding the wall again on the entry to turn 1. He did that a couple of laps ago. Again, gets away with it. Doesn't even seem to give up a whole lot of ground to the 66 of Cody Harger. Shane Wagner and Cody Harger running pretty different lines through turns 3 and 4. Cody a little up high, the 26 kind of middle. 17 to go.
Shane Wagner underneath our leader right here, Cody Harder, coming out of 4, looking into turn 1.
Oh, gets into left rear again. Cody Harder getting that bump on entry to turn 1, slips him sideways. Now he's got the 75 of James Curtis who was inside.
And that's the second time that's happened to Cody while he's been out there leading the race. I don't think he's going to be playing too fair coming to the later stages of this race right here. And I would say if he can get back to the bumper, he'll return to the favor.
15 to go. He's got time to do it. Said early on, we didn't really expect the field to get as strung out, but at this point in the race, top 5 are in their own little pack. Then you got 6th, 7th, and 8th in their own little pack, and then everybody else behind them. I don't know about you, Brian, but I see tires being cooled here in the next few laps.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. You see these different packs of cars right here, and that right there, it's a little bit of the driver, but more so it's the tires. How have you protected your tires? Have you saved them? Have you kept them cool? Have you burnt the rubber? Have you burnt the right rear off of it? Because that's a really big thing here at this track. And I think that you're seeing that come to fruition right now. Who's took care of their tires? Who's kept them cool? And right now, who's going to cool them down and be setting up for a run at the end right here with coming to 10 to go.
Shane Wagner around turn number 4, coming to the 11 to go signal. Hard to do that with 10 fingers. Cody Harger looking to the inside of the 26 through turn number 2. Will he hit the bumper? Contact
yes,
with the
will.
car. Yes, he does. The 26 gets turned, takes out the 75. Cody Harger definitely getting tired of being pushed around. He says, I can play that game too. Caution is out, coming to 10 to go.
This is going to change everything. If you got tires, you're going to put them on right here. And you are going to for about an 8-lap shootout by the time we get going back again, and this is going to be fun to watch. Do not go anywhere.
Yeah, certainly going to be fun to watch. I'll be curious to see how the race officials look at this. I'm not sure. I know the couple of times that Cody got pushed around, Cody was able to save it, didn't wreck the car. It did put him back a few positions, but in this case, Cody made contact with the 26, turned the 26, and it took himself out along with the 75. Bump and run is one thing, wreck and run is another. I'm just not sure how they're going to view this. We'll see what happens. If he stays out front, we'll be good to go, and Cody's still got a shot at the win here. Still 10 laps to go. He's going to need to earn it. I think that was an admin caution as well, so let's go back and see if we can watch the replay here. Uh-oh. I think we froze it. Yeah, so we'll have to back this up here. Little rewind.
Yeah, you'll see this in the replay. Cody just gets a really good drive off the 26, doesn't really get going, I think Cody thought he was going to be able to drive off of that corner a little bit harder than he actually did. Sort of just drove up into the left quarter panel of the 26 right there, and he just wasn't able to save it.
And in watching it from that second perspective, it almost looked like the 26, even though he was kind of slideways, didn't get the run off. It almost seemed like he was trying to pinch the 66 ever so slightly off turn 2, which is a fair move. I did the same thing. You don't want to give the momentum to the guy trying to pass you, but I think in doing so, Cody didn't anticipate it, got into the 26. Round they went. So far, Cody stays out front.
Yeah, and I've watched this. I've watched what's going on up front, this race right here. And I don't want to chalk that up to any retaliation or anything. That looks just like a hard racing deal coming to 10 to go. You can't give an inch. You're going for the win. You don't turn the computer on to run second. And with 10 to go in a race like this, you got to go. And, there's no lifting. I'm sure Cody did not mean to wreck him. I know Cody. I know how he races. Cody's not a dirty driver, so stuff happens.
It's close quarters racing. These modifieds, it's the way it is sometimes. Again, I don't believe the 66 did it intentionally either, but at this point in the race, after getting pushed around a little bit early on, I think it was in his mind, it's time to go. We're going to bang Nerf bars. That's why they're there. Lights are out atop the iRacing pace car. We're going to go green to the next time by. Cody Harder, Dan Butler, Austin Purnell, Rob Higgins, James Kerr III, the top 5.
Going to have 8 cars on the lead lap, so that's 8 guys with a shot of winning this race tonight.
You see Alfie Charon running the 8th position. He's certainly in contention to win this. Who knows what's going to happen up front. Really, at this point, Bill Voracek's only a lap down. A caution comes out. He gets that lucky dog. He's still got a shot.
Are you thinking that maybe another caution will come out? Can we see another yellow right here?
I don't think they're done. Green flag is out. Cody Harder down and away. Dan Butler fires off second. Rob Higgins, Austin Purnell, James Kerr.
Great restart by the 66 right there.
Field works off turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Field through clean. Austin Purnell to the outside, trying to pick up the 3rd position. Can he pull it off? Looks like he's got it 3 wide off turn 4. Purnell in the wall. Riding the wall down the front straightaway, just trying to keep away from everybody else and not collect the field. 32 falling on the sword. Well done. Keep the green flag out. Back up front, Cody Harder continues to lead. Dan Butler closing in down to a car length into turn 3 and 4. Four laps to go. James Kerr III battling the 44 position here. Off turn number 2, down the backstretch, trying to get by Rob Higgins. Rob Higgins battles back, defends the spot so far. They're still side by side, middle of 3 and 4. Through all this, they're actually catching the 18 of Butler. 3 laps to go. We're running out of time. The 13 of Buckley looks strong too, now putting pressure on the 75.
Actually, I think there's 5 to go.
I think you're behind. Cody Harder up front. Dan Butler tucked right in behind. The top 4 under a blanket. Off turn number 4, coming to 2 to go.
Man, Cody gets right up on the wall right there, coming out of 4.
18 trying to dive on the 66. Cody May has seen that one coming. Off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Lap and a half remaining. Battle between Harger and Butler for the win. James Kerr and Higgins and Buckley in the top 5. They're all in it to win it. Watch Butler to dive it into the first turn here. Can he do it? Nope, no momentum to do so. Cody Harger has the position. Last lap off turn number 2. Cody Harger down the backstretch for the final time here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the TRS Modified Series. His first race here this evening. Race 2 for the series, race 1 for the 66. He started on pole, battled some adversity. Dan Butler's right there off turn number 4, but not going to be enough. Looks to the inside.
Good
Cody
race.
Harger's going to win it.
Number 18 right there. He had every chance to use that bumper right there coming out of 4, and he didn't. So that's awesome. You know, that was a good race.
Little post-race semantics on the backstretch. 26 of Shane Wagner is certainly not pleased with Cody Harger.
Yeah, it's a tough break right there. Frustration's coming out here at the end of the race. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Like I said earlier, Brian, before we went on air, this is a fun league. These guys do a lot of horsing around, just here for a good time, and they certainly have that. Even post-race, you'll see these guys wrecking for 10 minutes after the race is over.
Yeah, that's good. You know, you get into some of these leagues, some of these things I know scar everything. We take stuff pretty serious over there. I put in a lot of work and hours, but it's nice to get into a league and see these guys have fun doing this. After all, it is a sim. It's not a game. It is a sim, but this is a hobby. And to see guys get in here and have fun and goof off, that's serious. But when the green flag drops and you're between the green and the checker flag, it gets serious, and it's good that no one takes any hard feelings away from it.
Well, we're going to take a short break. We're going to pull up our top 3 for a quick interview, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We're going to go to Cody Harger, our race winner here at the TRS Modified Series event here at Loudon. Cody Harger, it's Steve and Brian in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, Cody. First race in the series for you. You start on pole and you have some adversity, then you bring it back for a win. Not without a little bit of, well, excitement, I guess you could call it. Tell us about the later stages of your race.
Yeah, man. New group of guys. I'd only ever run with one of the guys in the field. So coming in blind, didn't really get a whole lot of practice. So we were learning about each other as the race progressed. So things were probably a little little more rough and tumble than what I expected. But hey, it's modified, it's open wheel, so it doesn't take much to upset things. And got turned early and fought back and got back to the front, and sacrificed probably some tire life and whatnot in order to keep track position, and worked out there for a while and got to racing. I think it was with the 26, and he kind of got in my left rear a little bit, and then kind of got me up the track, and I come back up and got to him, and just real tight racing there, coming off of two, got into him. I hated to see him wreck. Would have been cool to run that one to the end, but all in all, bring home a win. First time with these guys, feels pretty good.
Well, Cody, congratulations. Of course, it's race 2 of the season. Your first race of the season with these modified guys. Congratulations on the win. Do you intend to keep running the league throughout the rest of the season, provided you've got the time?
Yeah, I'm gonna do as much as I can. Wednesday nights are sometimes free, sometimes not, but we're gonna give it a shot and see what we can do. I love running these cars, so to have a league that runs these cars at the short tracks and things of that nature, and these mile flat tracks and everything, pretty excited about it. So yeah, I'm gonna be in every chance I get.
All right, Cody. Well, before we let you go, anybody you need to thank that might be on the race car this weekend?
Yeah, I want to thank Plasmine Technologies as always. They sponsor me across a few different series. Glad to have them on the car and represent them. I'd like to thank the guys at OG Racing for getting me in here quick. Sent a message today, and they got me all signed up and ready to race. I'm still very unfamiliar with the league, but I do think there's a few sponsors out there for the league, and I apologize that I don't know the names just yet, but definitely thank them for helping out with the league and being able to put this on. And HBR TV, y'all are always awesome. So good to be in a series that's broadcasted by y'all.
Well, congratulations, Cody. That's Cody Harger, your winner here at New Hampshire in the TRS Modified Series. Good luck next week, Cody.
Thank you, sir.
Next up in the booth, we've got Dan Butler. Dan Butler, it is Steve Singer and Brian Rose with the HBR TV group. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Not too bad, Dan. Congratulations on the second place finish, a 7-position improvement from qualifying. You looked real strong back there behind the 66 of Cody Harger. Wasn't sure if maybe you had enough time, maybe a little more time, you could have caught the 66 and gone by. Tell us about the later stages of your race.
Oh, what an absolute blast. This track's fun. Yeah, it started off kind of rough. I qualified, I believe, 8th, 9th. Got spun out before I even completed a lap. Went to the back, pretty much fighting uphill the rest of the race. Caught a few breaks. I don't know what was going on when I raced, and I got into somebody during one of those wrecks, and my right front was showing some damage, and I kept trying to do a fast repair. It wasn't allowing, so I was kind of thinking about that all night, hoping it was going to run okay, but it seemed to have some good speed. But just ran out of laps at the end. I think I would have had it maybe with two or three laps more. He just got a good restart with 5 to go and ran out of time.
The post-update iRacing gremlins rear their ugly head once in a while, so unfortunate for that, but you still brought it home with a second place. Congratulations there. How were things from there on forward? You had an issue early on. You got spun out. Did you keep the car relatively clean after that?
Yeah. I missed. I'd say 1 or 2 big wrecks. Just missed them. I guess I got lucky after that, and then started finding some speed. I seemed to be able to run it in a lot lower than everybody else. It was sticking a little bit better down there for me. That's where I seemed to be gaining. I noticed that on the 66 the last 3 laps. I think he picked up on it because he cut down a little bit lower going into 3 to block that from me. So good job to him. He had a heck of a race. I'm thrilled with second though. So
Second place, only 1 spot more, and it could have been better. But other than that, still not too shabby. You're here in the booth getting an interview, so nothing wrong with that. Before we let you go, is there anybody that's on the race car that you need to thank?
oh yeah, definitely my team, racing school. If you guys want to try to drive a real race car in real life, look us up at racingschool.net. 877 can race. We'll be starting right after the icebreaker at Thompson next year, and come have some fun with us.
So that's all based out at Thompson Speedway, right?
Yes, sir. We're possibly expanding the next year or so to Waterford Speedway also in Connecticut.
Very good.
We've got about 10 or 12 late models you can run, and we should have 5 modifieds going by the beginning of next year.
Very cool. Not a terribly far drive for me as I'm in Western New York. That is certainly something that is on the bucket list.
Heck
If we
yeah, come on
get
by.
out that way, we're going to have to check you guys out. TRS, theracing.school.net. I think I got that right.
Oh yeah, theracing.school.net.
Well, that's Dan Butler, ladies and gentlemen. Second place finisher here in New Hampshire. Dan, congratulations and good luck next week.
Thank you, sir. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. Last but not least, we'll go to the third place finisher of Rob Higgins. Rob, it's Steve and Brian in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
I got you guys.
You are our biggest mover of the race. You finished top 3, so that's excellent, but you started 13th, bring it home 3rd. Tell us about your afternoon.
I thought I would have had a better qualifying run, but car felt a little loose, and I'm happy with 3rd place.
Any real struggles for you working your way through the field? Was things pretty clean and green for you? Did you have to use the fast repair? Tell us about it.
No, I didn't have to use the fast repair. A lot of close calls. I think my heart stopped a couple times.
Well, that's never good when you're driving a race car.
Nope.
Well, Rob, congratulations. 3rd place. Passed a lot of cars out there today. Before we let you go, on the race car, anybody you got to thank?
Checker Flag Auto Supply, my parents, my girlfriend, you guys, OG guys, Cody for winning, Dan running 2nd, Kerr, we had a hell of a run there, battling for 3rd. That was fun.
Well, Rob Higgins, man of few words, does his talking on the racetrack, brings it home in the 3rd position here this afternoon. Rob, good luck next week.
All right, thank you. See you guys next week.
Well, that's your top 3, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Harger, your winner. Dan Butler, 2nd, and Rob Higgins. Of course, Cody was mentioning how he's brand new and not super familiar with the sponsors. And boy, do I have to thank him for mentioning that, because as we got into our intro here this afternoon, I forgot the sponsors too. So I'm so glad that he said something. We have to thank LSI Litchfield Specialty for their participation and associate sponsorship with this series. They do a good job for us, and we don't want to forget about them. So my apologies for not dumping that in there earlier on, but we got through it. Here you are, LSI Litchfield Specialty. They also sponsor some other series within the OG Racing League, so we certainly appreciate their support. D. Dixon & Sons Trucking, same situation with them, associate sponsor here on this side of things, and pretty much, I believe, across the board in all 3 series that we broadcast here at Holler Boys Racing TV. So thanks to D. Dixon & Sons Trucking. And Sudath Taxidermy, I'm going to say this wrong every time. I think I've got it right. No one's really corrected me yet, but if you're in need of taxidermy services, give 636-544-7836 a call, and they will for sure get you hooked up. So, Brian, what are your final thoughts on the race here this afternoon? Good race here at New Hampshire, a little bit of action, some crashes, good racing, some hard racing, some hurt feelings. What do you think?
Oh, this race had everything you could want. I mean, if you're a race fan, you tune in, this is what you want to see. Every single thing, every lap, there was battles all over the track. You had bumper to bumper action up front almost every lap. Good 3 wide pack racing in the back. Fast, good, hard bumper to bumper racing. That's what you wanted to see. And at the end, it came down to a super finish. Nobody ran away. No one dominated this race. And as a race fan, you can't ask for anything more. So it was a good race, and I can't wait to see the next one.
Now, if you've never been to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, you really do need to make the trek. I know for you, Brian, you're out of West Virginia. That's quite the haul for you, but it's doable. We went the Musket 200, I think it was 2020. It was right near the end of the season, and we watched them really get down, and it's a really enjoyable race. It was really the only race I made it to last year because they canceled Watkins Glen for the NASCAR Cup Series. So I said, you know what? Grabbed a buddy, went out here and picked up some tickets, relatively inexpensive. The track did an excellent job, and the NASCAR Whaler Modified Tour did an excellent job putting on a great race. Same here this afternoon, 60 laps around the Magic Mile. OG Racing TRS Modified Series, they made it look good. They certainly did a good job. So before we get out of here, of course, we want to go over our race results. TRS Modified Series from New Hampshire, of course, Cody Harger, first race, first win, first pole, checking off the boxes in a hurry here at New Hampshire. with Charger Racing. Dan Butler was second with the RacingSchool.net. Rob Higgins with Higgins Hill Racing was third. James Kerr, the third, Black Acid Custom Racing Apparel, was fourth. Fifth was Josh Buckley. Sixth was Shane Wagner. Alfie Charon with Charon Racing, and the 78 machine was seventh. Austin Purnell had a rough afternoon, man. He was in trouble a lot of different times here. I think he had a better finish going for him at that last restart, but unfortunately got a little too high on the front straightaway, rode the wall, and did a really good job, honestly, keeping it out of trouble and keeping from collecting anybody else and making that a major incident. But it did hurt him, dropped him back to the eighth spot, last car on the lead lap. Bill Voracek was ninth, 1 lap down. Matthew Whedon was 10th, 1 lap down. Mike Taschereau looked strong for a while. He was up front. I think Mike was involved in an accident or two. Dustin Painter started outside front row. He finishes 12th. Also had a good run going early, but gets involved in some wrecks. 2 laps down for the 65 machine. Pete Woodrum finishes 13th. 14th was Carson Conway of Holler Boys Racing. Carson had a tough outing as well. Carson really runs well in these modifieds. He enjoys them, but a tough afternoon here at New Hampshire for the number 72. We'll see how things go here next week on some shorter tracks. Brian Torcha finishes 15th in the 2 with OG Racing. Cody Fogg, Bob Higgins, and Dale Legan round out the field. Again, Keith Dellis, Joe Marks, and Tom Melnick did not turn laps in the session, probably here either in an admin or a viewership role. So that is your full field finishing order here from Loudon, New Hampshire. With that, once again, thanks to LSI Specialty, D. Dixon & Sons, and Sudath Taxidermy. I also want to thank Whiplash Media. Whiplash Media providing custom camera work for most of our events. If you're looking for some custom cameras for your stream on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube or really anywhere, contact Whiplash Media on Facebook and hit them up for some cameras. They do an excellent job. They turn them around really quick in most cases. I've asked them for a camera the day of a race, and it's like, oh, I've got one, but it's not updated. Crap, let me go through it and do it again. And within half an hour, he had them done. I was blown away. They do an excellent job. So if you need cameras at an affordable price and you don't have time to do it yourself, check them out. It's going to about do it for us, Brian. Before we really sign off here, any final thoughts?
No, Steve, this was a really fun race. This sounds like a really fun league. It's exciting to see these guys come out here and compete. Tough break for my teammate, Carson Conway, tonight. I know he was really excited, looking forward to getting a good finish for the HBR stable tonight. Can't win them all. That's okay. We'll come out and we'll get them next week. But no, fun racing, exciting racing. Look forward to next week.
Well, that's going to do it. Brian, thanks for joining me up in the booth. Pleasant surprise, as always, to have you up here with us when you're not out on the racetrack. For Brian Rose, I'm Steve Singer with Holler Boys Racing TV. Join us next week, 7:45 Wednesday night, or tomorrow at 7:45 for the Truck Series race. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.